you've made your video, how would you define San Francisco pizza? Like, what does that mean to you?
There's a great variety of pizzas available in this city. There's Mark. I think it's hard to pick a particular style that really defines San Francisco.
Several of you have asked me to film a best pizza in San Francisco video, and I've been kind of sitting on this one for a while. Because even though we make a mean pie, there really is no pizza culture here in San Francisco. I mean, what is San Francisco pizza, right? We're pretty good at adapting different types of pizzas, like the Domino style American, thick crust Sicilian, thin crust Neapolitan, the giant slices of New York pies, deep dish Chicago, and square pan Detroit. Oh, and there's even the 10-inch California pizza with its frou-frou toppings like tofu and artichoke. But that originated down in LA at Wolfgang Puck's. I think I'm gonna need some help on this one, so I'm off to go visit fellow San Franciscan YouTuber Tom Dehnel to pick his brains. Tom is an East Coaster, current San Francisco transplant, and he really knows his pizza. And I'm a huge fan of his channel and have been following his search for the best pizza slice. And he just recently crowned his first inaugural Dehnel's Best Pizza Joint in San Francisco winner. I'm gonna include a link up here in case you wanna catch the video and see which places made it as his finalists. Right now, I'm gonna head out to meet him at his winner, Square Pie Guys. Square Pie Guys is located in Mid-Market, which can be a little rough around the edges. So for you first-time tourists, maybe you want to take an Uber or a taxi directly here, let's go in and check it out.
Hello. Dean, hello. Good seeing you.
This is Tom.
Hey guys, I'm Tom. I live here in San Francisco. I make YouTube videos. Go check out my channel, which
I'll include a link up here.
Thank you very much, Zine.
So I think when you first came to San Francisco from the East Coast, I get the impression that you didn't think very much about the pizza culture. You like had a really tough time finding a slice that you really liked.
It's true. And I feel like I have to explain that a little bit because I used to live in New York City. There, I just felt like it was just so easy to get a decent slice. And I just didn't have that experience here in San Francisco, which is surprising because San Francisco is such a food town, right? After I made the best pizza video, I discovered there is great pizza here in San Francisco. It's just, it took a little bit of extra work to find it.
So I love Tom's video and his very scientific approach. What was your criteria for coming up with the best pizza?
So I really wanted to take as much of like a rigorous methodology as I could, and that's why I created this scoring system where I had 5 different judges evaluate like the crust, the sauce, the cheese, the ambiance of the pizzeria, even the smell of the pizza, how the pizza looked.
The winner obviously is Square Pie Guys. That's why we're here. Why did they win?
The 5 judges that I had score each pizza, they rated Square Pie Guys the highest in almost every category. Square Pie Guys has, you know, delicious toasted cheese. It's got a thick but like light somehow crust. It's got this crispy toasted rim of cheese around the outside. Yeah. The flavors are delicious. I mean, this place looks great. You know, it's just a really good slice of pizza. It ended up winning the competition. Here, Mark just got here with the pizza.
Wow.
You're a pizza artist.
Yes, I know. Thank you very much.
Looks
Thanks,
awesome.
Pizza Casa, you know.
Thanks. Oh my God, this looks fantastic. So here at Square Pie Guys, they make something called Detroit style. With Detroit style, it's generally a square-shaped pizza. Typically, they're baking it in a square baking pan. That's what gives it that shape, and it's a thick crust. Some pizzerias will put a little butter on the bottom to make it just that extra crispy.
Each 6x6 pie comes with 4 slices. We got half cheese with red sauce, basil, olive oil, mozzarella, and grana, a hard cow's milk cheese from northern Italy similar to Parmesan, and half 5x5 with 25, get it? Pieces of artisanal pavone pepperoni.
Should we do a pizza cheers?
We should do a pizza cheers.
Okay.
Cheers. I love the bread. It's kind of very fluffy, and the cheese is just dripping off of it. It's so chewy. I think you ordered it with a vodka sauce instead of a tomato sauce, right? It totally makes all the difference. It's so good with a vodka sauce. It's got this really delicious tang. I love the basil on this too. There's a little bit cooked, crispy, crunchy as well.
If you eat meat, I also love these little pepperonis here. You can see that. See how they're like little
Gorgeous.
pepperoni cups? Yeah.
Crispy on the edges and shriveled up from the heat.
Yeah. It's like
Beautiful.
It's like it's like a little meat shot glass full of pepperoni grease. I think if the original inventors of pizza could see this, they would probably roll over in their graves. But
Actually, if an Italian saw this, they'd roll over in their grave.
yeah, they just roll over.
But that's over in San Francisco.
This is so good though. You want to give it a crunch audio?
Yeah.
I think you got to get more like edge, you know.
Maybe I didn't take a big enough bite.
Yeah, pizza is just about having a good time.
It is.
You know, not taking it too seriously, trying to enjoy yourself. When you're here in San Francisco, having a few different types of good pizza to go and check out is a must.
So I think right now in San Francisco, the trend is definitely towards Neapolitan style pizzas, which are the really thin crust pizzas.
I think that's the style of pizza that people who love food generally tend to eat. Like, it's a real foodie style of pizza.
Yeah. For you, what's the difference between a Neapolitan and a New York style? Because they're both thin crust pizzas.
Both thin crust pizzas. I think a New York style, you're typically going to see more of like a blend of cheeses together.
Yeah.
The New York style crust is going to be thin as well, but it's typically going to be crispy on the base. And what that means is when you take a proper New York style pizza and you fold it like this, and you eat it.
Oh yeah, the New York fold.
It will stay rigid. It should stay solid. I also think personally, a New York style piece of pizza has to be served on a white paper plate. Like you have to be able to take it out of the shop with your plate, catching all the all the drippings coming out of it, and be able to eat it as you walk down the street to your next meeting or destination. Like, to me, that's New York style.
It's all about the delivery system.
Definitely.
What would you suggest is a good slice to get here in San Francisco that comes the closest to New York or Neapolitan style?
The best New York style pie that I've had here has got to be at Joya. Joya is this amazing New York style slice shop in Hayes Valley. You absolutely have to go there.
Bill Joya, a former Brooklynite, and wife Karen, who cut her teeth on Neapolitan pizzas at Chez Panisse, first opened the pizzeria in Berkeley over 15 years ago before kicking off this branch here in the city.
They bill themselves as New York style, but it's definitely merged with this West Coast format, meaning using gourmet fresh fixings. The New York style is based on a Neapolitan thin crust, as the original immigrants who brought pizza pie to Manhattan were from Naples.
Their most popular is the Julienne with house-made calabrese sausage, Jacinto kale, red onions, chili flakes, mozzarella, and pecorino cheese. And the fungi with roasted cremini mushrooms, thyme, parsley, garlic oil, then sprinkled with mozzarella and grana.
They've taken a very delicate touch to mozzarella with a kind of a very thin underlayer, just enough to keep the dough moist, but they've piled on the pecorino on top, and it's got this really beautiful, creamy, sharp texture to it. But you gotta eat over a plate for this one, because definitely that pecorino goes everywhere. It's fresh sausage, it's very mild, but seasoned quite well. If you like Italian sausage, you'll really enjoy this slice. I actually can't wait to try the crust on this. Look how gorgeous that is. Big open crumb there, and it's charred beautifully on the outside. Wow, did you hear the crunch? This fungi also looks delicious, more like a traditional pizza. Yummy. That's a really dense taste of mushroom. You've definitely got to be a mushroom lover for this one. Mozzarella is a little heavier on this one too. All right, Tom, good recommendation. That was delicious. Now, we can't do an SF Pizza episode and not cover Tony's Neapolitana Pizza in North Beach. It's practically an institution. Let's go. North Beach is home to San Francisco's Italian community, and Tony's is located on Stockton, right across from Washington Square Park. The owner, Tony Gemignani, has won more pizza competitions than I can count, but his most prestigious is the 2007 championship at the World Pizza Cup in Naples. He's the only American to have done so.
This here on the corner is their full-service restaurant, and if you just want to grab a slice right there, this here is their slice house, and you can get it by the piece.
The most popular pizza here is, of course, Tony's authentic margarita pie, Naples style, with which he won at the 2007 championship. But the menu does span across about 13 other different pie styles. There's a little bit of something for everyone. And because we're in California, we've got to get a California style in here somewhere. San Francisco Zine 7x7 recommends the honey pie, a thin crust topped with calabrese and serrano peppers, scallions, fried caramelized onions, and piave cheese, a hard cow's milk cheese from Italy's Veneto region. The whole thing is topped with honey that is harvested from Tony's rooftop hive. Even though most of the ingredients are imported in from Italy, it's, as 7x7 says, as Californian as you can get.
This thing is so loaded with toppings that the trick is trying to separate out a slice without dumping half of the toppings off. This is your perfect specimen of a California style pizza. You've got your thin crust and the blistered, crusty edges. There's very little cheese on it, and the toppings tend a bit more towards high-end California frou-frou. And generally, the pie tends to be a little bit smaller. So, see how small my slice is? It smells divine. Very interesting. Definitely, that's a drier, more carby pie with a crust and all of the crunchy toppings. And then all these peppers underneath definitely give it a good secondary spicy kick. The honey is not as strong in this. You can kind of barely taste it there. On second taste, I think it might be the balance between the honeys and the peppers, because actually I taste a decent amount of honey there. It's just that the peppers in this are so overwhelming, it kind of overpowers the taste of the honey. Now, if you want a California style pie that's a little bit more traditional, try the quail egg potato and guanciale or the tartufo. Both highly recommended by the server. All right, we're gonna end off our list with something a little bit more unusual and uniquely San Francisco, Indian pizza. I think this is the closest to representing what Bay Area culture is all about.
We're at Zante's Pizza in Bernal Heights. America is this wonderful melting pot of immigrants, both culturally and gastronomically. We are the best at doing fusion, and right here in Northern California, where there's a huge population of Indians, we have Indian fusion.
This has been a local's favorite pizza joint for decades. The owner, Dalviner Moltani, used to work in a Queens pizza parlor, and when he moved here to San Francisco, he bought this Zante's Pizza in Bernal Heights. Originally, he offered the Indian entrees alongside the Italian pizzas, which, by the way, is a very immigrant thing to do, until customers suggested that he combine the two, and voila, you've got Indian pizzas. You can still get Indian entrees here if that's what you prefer. It's a full sit-down dining experience. So you can get individual slices here, but I decided to get an entire pie because I wanted to get half of the paneer and half of the chicken tikka masala, which they didn't have in the individual slices today. On the base of this pizza is mozzarella, of course, but also some fresh spinach, bits of cauliflower and eggplant, and then for a taste of seasoning, garlic, ginger, green onion, and a pretty generous portion of cilantro. I got one half of the pizza with chunks of paneer cheese, which is like the Indian equivalent of like a cottage cheese. Traditionally, it's made with buffalo's milk, although nowadays, because cow's milk is more common, it's kind of mixed in there, and it's got this really fresh, curd-like consistency to it when you eat it. It's actually quite bland in taste, and it's a little bit like tofu, where it just takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking it in. So on the other half of my pizza, I got a tikka chicken masala, which means spicy. Tikka is a creamy orange curry sauce that is used to marinate and cook the chicken in. And fun fact, it's actually not an authentic Indian dish. It was created for the Brits as an interpretation of Indian cuisine, much like chow mein was created for the American palate. I am going to start with a nice big slice of the paneer, and this is on an American style crust, so it's a little bit thicker in through this area. It's a soft, bready texture, very similar to focaccia, an Italian focaccia. Still got a nice crispy crust on the bottom. It's actually pretty mild for an Indian pizza, but I love the flavors. They're quite bright, and the addition of the paneer on top of the mozzarella is fantastic. The masala substitutes the traditional tomato sauce, which is really nice because you definitely get that taste of Indian spices in there. Yeah, I like this one a lot.
chicken masala. Ooh, love the chicken. Oh yeah, you can feel the spice on that one. I love that they cut the chicken up into smaller pieces so that flavor is distributed more evenly throughout the pizza. You get a little bit in each bite, nice fresh pops of cilantro all throughout, and that same masala sauce for a kick of Indian spices. Try a bit of the mint sauce on here. Love it. Creamy, spicy, a big burst of flavor in your mouth. Tamarind, also delicious. Sweet, spicy sauces are a must on these. After a day of eating my way through San Francisco's pizza scene, I think I kind of got a grasp on what San Francisco pizza is really all about. I still wouldn't say we have a style necessarily. I mean, there's no such thing as San Francisco style pizza. But what San Francisco pizza is all about is taking all those great styles out there in the world and making it our own. Adding in a heaping full of high quality, fresh ingredients, a touch of ethnic inspiration, and a lot of that Silicon Valley ingenuity. Between Tom and I, we've covered quite a bit of pizza here in the city. I don't know, do you agree with our assessment of what San Francisco pizza is? Thanks to Dave for joining me on my big pie adventure, and thanks also to Tom for his help. Till next time, peace. If that information was valuable to you, please help me make it available to more people. Subscribe by hitting that red subscribe button down below, or like the video by hitting the thumbs up icon. Thanks so much.